don't think it ever like there was like a light bulb moment when it went off over my head, like, oh my God, he's the one. But I did notice that he was different from, you know, other guys and other relationships that I had been in. He had this thing where like he like would never say a derogatory word about women. That was something that stood out to me, and that, you know, showed me more than, you know, he was already showing me, that he put women on, you know, this pedestal and held them in high regards and had a lot of respect for women.
So I use this example about chicks that's from like my old neighborhood. They had a certain level of aggression, and a certain type of hood nigga is what they like, and not just any hood nigga. You had to be a confirmed 2-3 body type of dude for them to actually fully respect you. And when you're dealing with a woman that operates like that, there's a certain level of masculinity at all times you're gonna have to maintain. And if it falls below that, she's gonna be disrespectful as fuck to you. And if Remy Ma is popping off fighting chicks and shooting at people, she strikes me as somebody that could be from the area that I'm talking about. And if she feels like her man now has become, in her, not in these type of women mind, not saying that he pussy from doing all of that shit, but if she feel like he pussy, she will lose respect for him and then seek a nigga that she feel is as dominant as the type of man that she actually wants. And I'm not saying this right. I'm saying I've witnessed it and I could see it from a distance. Like, she's tougher than you in her mind. That's not gonna work. No matter how nice you are to her, that will actually probably make it worse, honestly.
I think the problem is
basically you just targeted what we were saying. You said she was a red flag. How she was brought up,
she
her
definitely
mentality was a red flag. And all we're saying is a woman with red flags is going to do these things. We're saying there's women that don't have that retaliation type. If you don't show the masculinity I think you should have, I'm going to cheat on you. There's women out there that going to take you for who you are. This is who you are. And if you don't have the masculinity I expect you to have, then I'm going to leave. I'm not going to disrespect you. There's women out here with class that'll literally walk. So it's not on him. It's just on her ability to be like, okay, look, this ain't working for me. This is not the guy I'd expect to be. He don't have the masculinity. I'm tougher than him. I'm going to go ahead and try my options elsewhere and spare this man any, you know, of the things that I could retaliate or whatever.
So
Hold
on, y'all. We got to get the other people involved too. Go ahead, Kelly, Ruth, Coco, Chalice, check in with them.
So I just wanted to go back to what Law said about Remy Ma wanting to go on the show, and Papoose told her that he didn't want her to, but they both ended up on the show, correct? You said that was disrespectful, right?
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he said that.
Okay, so keep in mind that these are performers. They're entertainers. They get paid to entertain. These shows come with checks. So if you're an entertainer, an actor, rapper, whatever, it's about the money. So if they're a married couple, this is income to them. So is it really disrespectful if they both went on there? That's a decision that they made together.
Yes.
You have to sign contracts for the show.
No, that's the decision.
Nobody made him do that. Nobody made him do that. If it was so disrespectful, he wouldn't have done it. If he found the whole idea disrespectful, he wouldn't have went on there himself.
So that's what we saying that.
Well, that's what he said. He wasn't going to go on, but he did. He vowed to what she said. My thing is this. Hold on, listen, right? She did. What do you mean? Here's where Papoose failed to begin with. Listen. This is where Papoose failed to begin with. You listening? When you got a woman doing 8 years and you sit there going to see her every time and you waiting 8 years and I'm going to hold my celibacy and all that, she already knew she had you as a simp.
That's his
investment. They wasn't married. He married her in the joint. Come on, man. You ain't even, look.
Okay, but they're married, right?
He married her there, right? They wasn't married beforehand.
Okay, look, and he's managing.
What I'm saying is, okay, so wait. So wait, it's flipped this way. But if it was a woman waiting on that man, y'all gonna call her all kind of stupid. Y'all gonna call her all kind of girl. You waiting on this jailbird.
The decisions that she's making.
Come on, man. So you mean
they're both decide. It's both.
You say what?
I said it's both decisions on either side, whether it's a man or a woman. That's your choice to hold them down. And like I stated in the beginning, all Remy Ma did is what anybody else does when they do a long bid. They get out of jail. She starts smelling herself because she finally got back out. She got popping again. They went on the show. She became relevant again. And she wasn't feeling him no more and decided to test other waters. Like the other gentleman said, that says more about her character and the woman that she was rather than what Papoose did. I think all he really
should have saw it coming.
Just like a woman who holds a man down when he goes to jail and he does her wrong. It's not her fault. That was his decision.
Go ahead, Ruth. You want to add anything, or Coco?
I agree with what she said. It's his decision.
About you?
She was only in jail for a year before they got married. Less than a year.
Knowing she had 9.
But that wedding was she didn't even want a wedding. Like, that was all Poos. Like, Papoose wanted that wedding, all that stuff. Like, if you watch it, that's what he wanted. And she complained about it, but she still did it.
So who looking like the simp? Who looking like the goofy that should have saw the signs? Come on, man. Stop.
Like, he was like, he was getting a return on his investment. I
think you're mixing up two different things. You're mixing up simping and low self-esteem or being aware.
No, those go hand in hand. Those go hand in hand. Usually simps have low self-esteem and they do things that would be a red flag in any other scenario. But they're doing it for the woman. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it because they want to.
You can have high self-esteem and still be a simp. It's at the end of the day, it's all about the outcomes.
That's impossible. That's an oxymoron, bro.
I've seen guys with high self-esteem that think really high of themselves, and they still they think, well, you gotta let me finish so you can kind of try to understand what I'm saying. You can say no, but I'm still gonna try to get the point out so you can understand it. I've run into guys who had high self-esteem. They think very high of themselves. And they run into a woman that you think just drop dead gorgeous. Or they think they would never had a chance for them. And they just go simping away. They don't think low of themselves. They just never had a woman give them that much attention that was so dazzling. It happens, bro. I've seen it happen. Bro.
So Darwin, in your explanation,
you wasn't as high as you think.
Darwin, in your explanation, you explained that their self-esteem was lower because they said the woman was out of that she wouldn't have never given them a shot. So if you're dating a woman you feel is that much better than you, by that law, it doesn't necessarily mean in other aspects of your life your self-esteem is low, but your self-esteem would be low in relation to that relationship because you feel she's better than you to the point that you're willing to do anything.
I didn't say she. See, now you're twisting it. I didn't say he felt she was better than him.
So the part that I heard,
he recognized and understood his value in the dating market. He sort of with I think Trev used his phrase is punching outside of your weight class. He was punching outside of his weight class and he was getting attention and he was soaking it up because he never had that kind of attention. He didn't think low of himself. He just never had that experience with a woman that was so beautiful.
So Darwin, that's why I said
that's where I go.
High self-esteem.
Just because you're able to get attention from people that you've never had doesn't mean that your self-esteem becomes lower.
So again, that's why I said
that you never had.
In relation to the relationship, his self-esteem was low. In regards to his regular life, his self-esteem could be high. By placing the woman above you, you have lowered your own self-esteem because as a man, you should not.
That was my argument. That was my argument with Papoose. I said he saw a woman with red flags. And usually women with red flags that get over men, they have low self-esteem. It's not necessarily he was simping. Because if my wife, I'm married. I'm going to do what I like making my wife feel happy.
As you should.
And grateful and all these other things.
As you should.
It makes me feel good. But it don't make me a simp, though. You get what I'm saying?
It does not.
So they were together for almost...
That's not the category of a simp either.
Wait, they was together for 3 years before she got incarcerated, and then he married her. In less than a few months after she got incarcerated. Like it wasn't like she was in jail for 3-4 years, and then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna marry this woman." They were together. So if you and your wife were talking about getting married, prior to, and then something happens to you where you go to jail, you're gonna say, hey, look, man, I know I'm about to be down for about 8 years. You can go ahead and do something else. Or would you marry that woman that you planned on marrying?
I still would marry. I don't know where we disconnecting at, because I understand exactly. Like, I wouldn't call him a simp and all that other stuff, but I get the point that he's saying about placing her on a pedestal above you, and that does not work in a relationship. And that, like, in my personal purview on how relationships become successful, the man has to be in a dominant role, and most women will say they're looking for a leader or a man in a dominant role. If you place yourself underneath the woman, when I talk about pedestalizing somebody or looking up to her, in that type of relationship, in any regard, it's doomed for failure 9 times out of 10.